Hey friends, Dave here with Transfer Express, and today I want to show you how you can create custom t-shirt artwork that sells. Yes, like the popular styles of designs that you could find all over the internet or in retail stores. And the best part of all is you don't have to buy catalogs of stock artwork, SVGs, or download any programs or even pay monthly subscriptions. But enough talk about it, let's get right to it. Now, EasyView Online Designer right here on TransferExpress.com is awesome. It empowers anyone to design t-shirts like a pro, even if you can't draw a stick figure. With its user-friendly interface, EasyView is designed to be intuitive, simple, and yes, easy to use. Now, being cloud-based, you could access it on almost any device. No powerful MacBooks or supercomputers needed. All you need is an internet connection. Now, loaded with over 10,000 pieces of customizable clip art and layouts, you'll see that this entire catalog here is customizable with just a few clicks to swap text or delete elements or even add new ones to make each design your own, effectively giving you custom stock artwork right at your fingertips. Now, our team of designers searches high and low from those online stores to retail for all of the current trends and release new artwork and layouts right here weekly. Now, you'll see that we have some trending layouts right when we click on add layouts here on the left-hand side, like the popular in my whatever era t-shirt design that you can see we could just update by typing here and changing our colors. It truly is that easy. Now, everything updates in real time, from size to colors to text and even any effects that you add or patterns. But what happens when you find some inspiration elsewhere and can't find what you're looking for? Or maybe a customer sends you a screenshot from Pinterest or Etsy and says, I want something like this. Well, we can easily build it right here in EasyView. For our first example, let's use this image as our inspiration. So we're gonna go ahead right here into EasyView Online Designer and start with finding some text that'll make that kind of arch shape. And this one right here in promo layouts, QRN 219, totally does the trick. So here, what we're gonna do is just go ahead and change this to our city, which is going to be not Nashville, but let's say Louisville, Kentucky. So we'll just go ahead and type right up here to change our text. And because we have some other elements in here that we want to get rid of, we can go ahead and just click on them and delete them. And they'll be removed right here from our design. Now, the next thing that we'll want to do is add that cactus. So let's go on over to add clip art and we'll just search cactus. And right here, you'll see we have a few different cactuses. And let's go ahead and we could grab, let's grab this one right here. Now we'll size this one appropriately and kind of just drop it in right here. Next, let's grab that sun. So we could go to basic shapes here or just type in circle. Here, basic shapes, we'll find a circle and drop this one in. Now what I like to do too is just go up here and we could change the color of our ink. So let's just grab our gold, size it to how we want it, and we could actually move this to the back using these arrange commands. Super, super powerful. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and change our garment color to the green that we're going to be printing on. So let's just say it's going to be this dolphin color, or shark teal. Perfect. Now with this one, I don't want this to knock out this edge. So what we could do is go up here and go Object, Ungroup. And when I ungroup it, now I'll be able to just grab that edge and delete it. So now we just have our cactus. But now we need some grass to kind of round out the bottom of this cactus. So back to the clip art library and let's just search grass. And we'll see a few different grass textures that we could pull in right here. And I just want something kind of plain and easy. So we'll go ahead and grab this one. We could scale it down and just add it on both sides of our cactus. Now I could also go to Object and Duplicate to easily duplicate, or you could use those commands on your keyboard like for copy and paste, the Control-C, Control-V, or if you're on a Mac, Command C, Command V. Now what we'll do too is, if we wanted to change this font, we could, but I kind of do like that font, but we want to add some extra text here at the bottom. So it'll open with the font that we already have in use. And because Louisville is Derby City, we're just going to type that and pull this in just to the bottom. Just like that. Perfect. Now one other thing I want to do, I'm just going to hit Control C, Control V to copy that, because I want to say since 1778. Now this one I am going to change the font on and the colorway. So we'll go ahead and grab our color swatch, change it right back onto maize, and then right here where it says the font, we could click on this and change it to something else. I want something kind of classic, and you can see there's a ton of fonts in here, but I'm just going to click Adorn and resize this appropriately till it's right there. Now the only thing left to do is put on some final finishing touches. I'm just going to take this and duplicate it as we have for our circle, and now just make these a little bit smaller to simulate fireflies or stars or whatever we want this to be. So I'm going to use our copy and paste commands to drop a few of these larger circles or smaller circles right around, and I'll make some even smaller to kind of make that nice and I don't know, kind of stylized look. So I'm just going to place these in here, just copying and pasting them around, and we'll add some to the other side. Now once we have our design all finalized, I want to set my sheet size up, so I'm going to go here and just select portrait mode so it rotates our sheet vertically, and I could go ahead and grab our entire design and see our design sizing. So say we wanted to increase this to maybe 10 inches wide, we totally could right there, and it's going to fit the full page. Now, one more thing before we send it to a customer, we could go ahead and mock this up. Say they wanted to print it on the front of a, I don't know, Next Level 3600. So we'll just type in 3600 into this apparel menu, get our Next Level 3600 in that dark green or jade color, maybe another one here for this teal. We could click on front to see a few different views, or if we wanted to put it on the back views are located right here in the designer too. Now once we have our art uploaded, you could change this watermark whatever you want it to be. So if we wanted it to be Transfer Express, we totally could, and it puts it right in. Or if we wanted to turn it off to send it to a customer or host on an online store or post on social media, we totally could too. Now with this one, because the model views do change in size and scale a little bit, you may need to edit it. So right here, we could see this size and size it down to more of that 11 inches, which we were just a touch too large. And right here, we could download this, and our first example that we just created is complete. How easy is that? For our next example, let's use something like this one as our inspiration. And this one, super simple, super easy to create right here in the online designer. Of course, we could start the same way that we did with just going to layouts, and we could see this one right here, QHL 167, is actually pretty close, but it has a whole bunch of other elements that we're just going to end up deleting away. So let's go straight to the clip art library and just search for Checkered. And that's going to pull up this checkerboard pattern that we could use for our background. Again, if we wanted to set our colors to just start setting colors right out of the bat, we sure can. This one going on more of a turquoise this time. What a nice coincidence. And we'll change our ink color over to white for that checkerboard pattern. Now, just like we pulled that in, let's just type in Smile and see what's going to pull up. And sure enough, we've got one that almost exactly matches our source image, or a few different variations that we could use. Let's go ahead and click on this one. Now, even though that this one has a yellow coloring here, we could actually change that. But I know that our outline here is no ink, so I'm going to go ahead and change it over to white. And we're going to go ahead and remove this yellow, just clicking on the ink swatch and clicking no ink. And we'll do the same thing for the black ink here too, just switching it over to white. Now, we want to change those eyes over to, say, the lightning bolts. We'll go in here and just type in lightning and see a whole bunch of variations for lightning bolts that pull in. I think that one right at the top is going to be what we're looking for. So we'll grab this one. We can rotate it and we could size it down. So I'm just going to size this down a little bit, but I don't want it to be as tall vertically, so I kind of want to squish it. So what we'll do, we're going to go ahead and just click resize proportionately and turn it off. And now we could kind of squish this one down and put this over where our eyes would be, right? But we still see some of those eyes underneath. Some artwork you could go ahead and click ungroup to see if you could grab specific elements. And here, of course, we can. We could ungroup even the smile and the inside of this face. So we'll click individually just on each eye that's there in the background and delete it. So now we've got two eyes as lightning bolts, and we could adjust the scale or anything of our artwork right here and have it fit just how we want and how our customer wants. Now total, we'll say that this one we want to 9 inches, and we'll go ahead and just size this right here in the edit menu to 9 inches. But here on our gang sheet for our screen printed transfers, we could fit a whole bunch more artwork, so we could tuck this up in the corner and add different little left chest prints, right? If we just wanted to grab these elements. We'll go ahead and select all of our elements while holding Shift, go to Object, Duplicate, and we missed our mouth. But what we could do is just size this down, grab the mouth, Object, Duplicate, or again, the keyboard shortcuts make it super easy with just copy and paste. And here we could pop this one right back in here. Grab all of it, size it down to maybe 3 inches for a left chest or something, so we have a left chest and a back print, and all of this extra space to fit anything else here on our sheet as well. Just like that, done. For our next example that we'll do today, we're actually going to go off a little bit here, and it's gonna be real fun. So what we're going to do is we have our image here that our customer sent us, but doesn't want it to say you just yeed your last haul. They want it to say every day is trash day and want the little raccoon holding a piece of pizza. A really fun, creative idea. So let's go ahead and make it happen. What we're gonna do here is we're just gonna go ahead and start by going to AI and pulling our own source image. So we have our own source image and it looks something like this one. So it's a little raccoon guy that we just got from the Bing image creator over at bing.com/create with a simple prompt, retro looking cartoon raccoon holding a piece of pizza next to a trash can. So using it as our source image, we're gonna go here to upload and we will select our raccoon to upload here into the designer. Now it's going to prompt you a little bit right when we come in saying, do you want to keep original, remove the white background, so it's keeping the white within the shapes, or remove all white. Since we're just going to make it that kind of rust or maroon color that the customer requested on a white shirt, here we go. We're just going to click remove all white. Now this next step is either going to import it as a full color image or allow us to edit the colors, which because this is black, I want to be able to edit the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and click spot color in this image editor step. Now what this is going to do is analyze the image and kind of redraw it. So we could say 2 colors because I see that it's pulling some of this gray, which really it's just doing right now, and just click reprocess. So just to make sure there's not a whole bunch of different colors in here, and if you want to, you could click in here and remove any of these little shapes or colors, but we can easily remove any of these in the next step, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. We're going to click add spot color version, and sure enough, it populates right here into our designer. And this is where we're going to get rid of all of this other color. Just like we did in some of our other examples, we'll click on the ink swatch and just select no ink. So now no ink is printing there. And we'll change our ink color over to that maroon or rust. Perfect. We could also change our background color here over to white to ensure it mimics exactly what we're looking at. So here, now we're just going to add some text. And over top, we'll type every day is, and copy and paste our text here. Move it down, trash day. So every day is trash day when you're a raccoon, right? Awesome. So here I want to change my font to something a little bit more stylized. So I'll go browsing through here and I'm looking for something kind of classic and timeless that looks like a more standard font. So where's something at? Right here, Cooper, one of my favorites, and we'll go ahead and select that. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing. Now, when we have one in use, we don't have to go searching again. It's right here at the bottom of the edit menu. So every day is trash day. Now we could move things around here a little bit and size things appropriately to how we want it to be. If we want to make sure all of this is centered, we could actually select it all, go here, align, and click center. So now it's going to center everything, but I'm gonna go ahead and edit this and make it a little bit smaller too. So our sizing looks a little bit more like our traditional example that we saw at first that say our customer sent over to us. But we want to curve this text on a slight arch, which is where these effects here at the bottom come into play. Let's click Add Effects, and I'm actually going to do circle text in just a small arc. So with this, it arcs it, and we could actually go into our circle text menu and change the circle size if we want it to be slightly less arched or a little bit more arched. We could also adjust our letter spacing farther away or closer together right here in our design. And just like that, we have our shirt. Let's go on over to our mockup. Of course, we use the use apparel in one of our other ones, but here, let's say browse stock. We'll just use a plain white t-shirt right here. Again, turning our watermark off, we could grab this and size this to say the center chest at maybe 11 inches wide that a customer wants. And just like this, we could download this, send it to our customer and say, hey, is that what you were thinking? Now, of course, if we wanted to save this for later, we absolutely can. Just go up here, click save, you're able to name it, and you could even select and create different custom folders for different customers, different seasons, or whatever you want. And all of this is saved on the cloud, accessible at any time, as long as you have an internet connection on any device. For our last example, it's just simple. They want it to say Las Vegas, Nevada. So they want this nice, classic, timeless text on a blue shirt. So what we'll do is change our shirt color over to this Columbia blue to get that nice background first. Then we could just click Add Text. Now I will say, up in here in the layout menu, if you go to Basic, Building Blocks, you will see a whole bunch of text-only designs. From like this bookend arch that could be very, very close, or this QAL 247, which is also very, very close to what we're looking to do today. But just for the sake of our example, I'm going to go ahead and just recreate this with our custom tools here in EasyView just to show how powerful they are. Here again, we'll use our custom text tool, and I'm just going to go up in here and type Las Vegas. What we'll do again is just select our text, but I'm going to look for something more sport block, and you could narrow it down with these filters up here in the upper right hand corner of our font menu. So I'm just going to do full block wide. So it's something, let's actually do full block narrow to be something more like that original example that they showed, but that it has an outline on it. Absolutely no problem. Here in the edit menu, we'll click Add Outline, click Touching Outline, and I'm going to update this over to white. Now here you could also adjust the thickness of that outline, which I'm going to put it down so it's nice and subtle to match that example that our customer sent over to us. Now for our black ink for the inside of the text, let's just click No Ink and it's gone. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add extra text right here and type in Nevada. Now I do want this one to be a different font, so I'm just going to go in here. I already kind of have one in mind. I think it's called Cambridge. So what we could do is just go to all. So if you have one in mind, I'm going to type in Cambridge. Sure enough, there it is and populates right up. Now what I want to do is kind of expand the letter spacing here to give it more of a kind of high-end, elegant look. So just a couple clicks and it's going to go ahead and break that out. So here too, if you are very particular and look at the spacing between the V and the A, unfortunately you can't change any kerning here in the designer, but what we can do is just copy and paste this out and build it and fix it ourselves essentially. So I'm just going to take that, take the first part of the word, take this one, take the second part of the word in that same spacing that we had, and now I'm able to set that to be whatever spacing that I want. I'll go ahead and go Object Group to group these together, so anytime I just click on any letter, I can move the entire word. Now, just like we did in one of our older examples, let's go ahead and go here to the Applied Effects. Now this one from the other example does have kind of more of an arc than that full circle text. We'll go ahead and click here on Arch because it looks a little bit more arched than say that regular circle text. And what that's going to do is keep our letters vertical instead of wrapping around a circle like the circle text does. So we'll go ahead and add this, and of course we have some different options. The vertical athletic arch that kind of stretches the words a little bit, or to keep it more regular, we'll just click vertical arch. Now vertical arch here is almost exactly what we were looking for, but just like we did last time, we could go back to the edit menu here and adjust the offset. So there we go, a little bit, just slightly less curved, or you could go real far curved. I don't want to do that. We'll go right here and perfect. Now with this one, we want to size this one to say 11 inches wide, and we could take our sheet size again and now cut down the amount of shirts that we need. Say if a customer needed, let's say 75 of these, we could fit 3 of these up on just one sheet here. It's a little hard to see with this color, but there is this dotted line still here. We're able to fit 3 of these prints all up on one sheet. So instead of ordering 75, all we have to do is order 25 of them. So here we're going to see our accurate pricing. So we just have over $1 and change per print, because this $3.37 is for the entire sheet right here. Let's just mock this up real quick to see what it's going to look like on a Comfort Colors 1717 that the customer requested. Here, we'll just click on that. Let's just go to the front view, click on our blue washed denim. So we can mock this one up just the same. Now you'll notice it imports the entire gang sheet, and if we only want one image, let's make a selection around the one image and click selection only. So now we only have that. We'll put it right here and download the mockup to send over to our customer. Now that we've designed some artwork and have it saved in our account, and we even have some mock-ups to put on social media or an online store or send to our customers, we could order our heat transfers right here in the designer too when we need to. Now, not only do you have a proof of what your prints will look like on screen, but you also have live pricing and turnaround times listed right here at the bottom of the screen. From plastisol screen print transfers like our goof-proof transfers to the no minimum industry-leading Ultracolor Max direct-to-film transfers, you could select your transfer type here at the bottom with just a click and check out. Now go create an account at transferexpress.com right now to get started designing your own artwork. It is 100% completely free until you order transfers, of course. And we actually have a full lineup of more in-depth video tutorials right here on our YouTube channel that are going to help you out and showcase all of the powerful features in the software. Now, of course, if you have any questions, let us know down in the comments section below. We love to keep the conversation going with apparel decorators, entrepreneurs, and creatives just like you. Now, the examples that we used today were great for education, but I do want to say, don't steal somebody's artwork, please. All right? It's great to be inspired and pull inspiration from trends and creators on Etsy or Pinterest, but please make it your own. You got this. Now, as always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe right here to the Transfer Express YouTube page for all of the t-shirt printing tips, tricks, inspiration, and education that we're dropping every single week. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing. Happy designing.